Hi guys, hi guys, hi guys, hi guys, hi guys, hi guys. We were supposed to do this on YouTube, right? And I'm really sorry that we're doing it on Instagram. I didn't know that for Instagram, for YouTube, you have to have activated your account for live like some days before. I mean, I just started my YouTube like less than 3 months ago, so I'm still pretty new to some of these things. And so when I tried to go live, and I just saw that I couldn't go live until 24 hours after my account has been verified or something like that. So we came to Simi. So we came to Instagram to answer everyone's questions. So what I'm going to do is, after this session, I'm going to save the Instagram live and I'm going to upload it to YouTube, right? So let's just say that. Oh, thank you, Kenzo, thank you. Let's just say that I came to gist with you guys today because of many things. So first of all, the first time I announced that I was going to do a YouTube live, I put a form in the description box of most of. Hello Amy, I put a form. Hello Angela. I need to stop looking at the comments and just focus. I put a form in the description box of the videos to say that if you have any questions, ask me and I'm going to answer in the live. But I'm kind of like pained because you guys did not really maximize the opportunity. Most of the questions there, like I'm looking, there were like 31 questions there. Most of the questions there, like 80% of them are questions that I've either answered in one of my videos or I've talked about before or something. Like you guys are asking me things that... Hi Lulu. Hi Neme. You guys are asking me things that I've already answered. But anyway, because I said I was going to do it live, I'm just going to, answer the questions that we have. So I'm just going to go right into it. Thank you, Jimoke. So the first set of questions, I tried to categorize them into... I need to stop looking at the comments and just focus on my laptop screen where the questions are. So I'm going to just start the questions. I categorized them into different sections. So the first section that we're going to be addressing is about jobs. And so lots of questions about people that want to study in Norway and work. And like I said, most of these questions, I've already addressed them like in very detailed forms on my channel in different videos, but I'm going to still go through everything. So now the first question, can I work and study in Norway? Yes. You can work and study in Norway. If you come to Norway as a student, you're allowed to work 20 hours per week during the semester, and you can work full-time during the summer, right? So that's like the rule. You can work, you're allowed to find work. But another thing, right, is that if you... Shouldn't I make my screen landscape so that the video will balance on YouTube, right? That's a good idea. You guys, I'm about to... Let me just give me a suggestion that I'm about to take. So let me make my screen landscape so that will be better. Thank you, Neme. I hope that's... Yeah. You guys, sorry, I think you might have to now turn your phone sideways. Do you have to turn your phone sideways? Sorry. Sorry, this is for the tube, so it's sideways. Thank you, Nems. Thank you for that feedback. Okay, let me continue. So yes, you can work and study in Norway. So what I didn't realize on time at the beginning when I first came was that aside from working, because based on your student visa, you can work 20 hours per week and everything. But if you get a full-time job, you can get a full-time job apparently. So as a student, you can't work full-time with your student visa, but if you're a worker on a worker's permit, you can work and study full-time. I don't know if that makes sense. So as a student, for me now, I'm on a student visa. I can't do a full-time job. I can't take a full-time job, a full-time role. I have to take a part-time role and only work 20 hours per week. But if I apply for a job now and I get a full-time job, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my visa to like a worker's permit visa, and then I'm able to work my job full-time. But as a worker, I cannot decide. It's just like when you're in whatever country you are and you are working and then going to school at the same time. So that way it's kind of like better. So I'd always initially thought that you can't get a full-time job at all, but you definitely can apply for full-time jobs. So if you're planning to come to Norway don't just apply for part-time jobs, apply for full-time jobs as well, because you can switch your visa and then work full-time and then also go to school. But obviously let your employers know. Don't lie or anything like that. You let them know that, oh, I'm a full-time student and everything. Be very transparent and very open. All right, so let me be fast so that we can finish this thing on that good time, because we have like 30 questions. Student jobs, are they still really hard to come by? And also, is there a possibility this condition will change soon? This question is from Sherifat. See, Sherifat, we have to ask COVID because COVID is still outside, and because there's COVID outside, jobs are not the easiest to come by. All right, they're not impossible, but people are working, right? People have jobs. I don't have a job. I know there's a question they're asking there. If I don't have a job right now, but people are working and there are jobs, right? So it's not as easy as it used to be, or as it would have been, because obviously most places are closed, or there are less people working because they're trying to control the spread of the pandemic and everything. So there are still jobs, but then it's just not as much as if there was no pandemic, right? So I don't know when the condition is going to change. That would be up to the pandemic totally vanishing, right? So can you talk about healthcare jobs available for international students? So this question is from Frida. There are healthcare jobs. I was still talking to a nurse yesterday, a nurse from Uganda, right? Here is an Ugandan boy, is working as a nurse here. So there are healthcare jobs, and I do feel like sometimes I just think that all of you that are in STEM, all right, science, tech, medicine, engineering, you guys, like, because those things are not going anywhere. Not like for the business roles or something. Not like business is going anywhere, but there are always STEM jobs. Like from what I've seen, there's always a STEM job. Developers. So I'm always seeing STEM jobs, and I'm not in STEM, right? I'm always in STEM jobs. So there are jobs for people that are in the healthcare industry. And you know that there will always be, well, sadly, there will always be health issues and people that need, healthcare. Healthcare will always be wanting people. So there are always jobs. Like, at least I don't know anybody that is in healthcare. I know two Africans here that are in healthcare, and they have jobs. They are working full time. So yeah. Also, please, are you working? No. Any tips on how to secure a job? See, you have to learn the language, right? If you know that Norway is a country that you're actually looking at coming to, start like this. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Don't be like Muyiwa. Don't procrastinate. Like, I knew that I was coming to Norway before now, but I was trying to learn the language online, but I wasn't taking it so seriously. It's now that I'm here that I now start taking it very seriously, but I should have just taken it more seriously before I came, so that I would have immediately I landed, I won't be trying to get a grasp of it and everything. So if you want to increase your chances, learn the language, and also start applying for jobs immediately you land. Like, there's no need to wait till later, or let me just settle it. Start applying immediately. Like, there's no time lost. Start applying almost immediately. You get. Okay, the way I'm moving is okay. It's making the background white. Start applying for jobs immediately you land, and immediately you get to Norway. So those are the tips that I'm going to give you. Don't wait at all, and learn the language on time. What are the processes of getting jobs as an international student in Norway? It's just the same process as any other person. There's no special process for international students. You see the job, you apply, and then just like every other person, if they call you back, you go through the application process, and if you're not a fit, they don't call you. Same process of applying for any job anywhere else. I would like to know, this question is from Abdullah Witness. I would like to know how should get job there. Okay. The statement is a bit it's not very straightforward. Basically, getting a job as a registered nurse. So like I said, I already answered the question earlier about people are putting questions in the comments. Okay, so I think that use the question icon. Use the question mark icon so that your questions don't get lost in transit as we move, because I won't be able to find it amongst the comments, right? So use the question mark icon so that I can easily find it when you ask the question, because I can't track the questions in comments. So I just answered a question about healthcare, and people are requesting to be in the live. Just hold on when I finish. When I finish, you'll be able to join to ask me questions directly. Depending on time as well. So I just answered a question about working in healthcare. So this question is about working as a registered nurse. Yes, there are jobs. Like I said, I still spoke to somebody yesterday that is an African and is working as a nurse in healthcare here. He has a full-time job. So yeah, you can. The job applications are there. You apply, and if you're qualified, you get it. Universities teaching nursing, and I need to know if there's fully. So people keep asking about scholarship, but I realize that when they're asking about scholarship, they're not really asking about it for the sake of maybe living expenses or something. The education in Norway for public universities are free, so it's tuition free for everybody, right? So there are scholarships that you can apply to. I think I'm going to do a full video of that later in the month for scholarships that you can apply to, but you don't need a scholarship to get your tuition. Your tuition is already free based on how the Norwegian government works, and education is free in Norway, like I've been saying. But you can get scholarship to cover your living expenses and all of that. I will address that in a full video later in the month. Yeah. Okay, another question. Medical question again. For context sake, I'm a medical student here in Nigeria. This is from Ifelbua. I don't know if I want to read all this gist about this person's life. Where is your question? Now my question is, yes, have you ever come across a Nigerian trained doctor working or pursuing masters and working as a doctor in Norway? So I haven't come across a Nigerian trained doctor, but I've come across other people in the healthcare industry work from other African countries, right? So not necessarily from Nigeria, but I've come across those from other African countries. So yes, there are opportunities to be a doctor here or be in the medical space and find work. So let me move to the next set of questions about application. Is IELTS mandatory for studying in Norway? Is IELTS required by the university or by the embassy? So I've answered this question so many times. It depends on the requirements of your school. My school, when I was applying, they didn't require IELTS. They didn't ask us for IELTS. They just wanted. So when you're checking for the application in this school, you check based on your countries, because they have different application requirements for different countries. So for Nigeria, there was the option to use WAEC. If you had, like, I think it was a B grade or something. If you had a B grade, or like if you have a certain grade in WAEC, they're going to accept WAEC from you. And I had WAEC and I had a B grade in English WAEC, so I just used my WAEC certificate and I didn't have to write IELTS. There are some other schools that will require you to write IELTS, so totally check the requirements of the school that you're interested in and what they require you to do. So it's not like a general law that, oh, IELTS is compulsory or IELTS is not compulsory. You have to check by yourself based on the school that you're interested in and see what they require of you, right? What are the best universities in Norway to study business administration, marketing specifically? So I find these questions very tricky in the sense that you're asking me, like, what's the best university? It's going to be difficult for me to answer that question because I can't advise you on the university to go, right? Almost all the schools I've seen offer something in business administration, so you have to pick based on your own preferences. I'm not an educational consultant, so I cannot give you specific to say, oh, apply to this university, they are the best in this, unless maybe the information is on Google that, oh, this university is the best in this. For instance, NTNU, I'm not saying that they're the best in science and tech, but their focus is on science and tech, right? They offer a lot of science and tech courses, so it will be based on you to check the school, check the modules, check the courses, like the modules under the course or the program, check what it is about, see how they grade, see how they assess, and choose by yourself, right? Because I'm not an educational consultant, I will not be able to say, okay, go to this school for this or don't go to that school for that, right? So another question of, is IELTS compulsory, from Lola? I've already answered that. I love your energy and vibe, keep it up. Thank you so much. Next question from John Adeyemi. Okay, this person really said a lot of things. You fell in love with Norway, you couldn't get in last year. Okay, plenty gist. You did mechanical engineering, you want to go for your masters, now you're leaning towards the financial sector. Okay, now the question that you're not asking me after these two paragraphs is, I want to know I want to ask which you think might be preferable, the University of Stavanger or the University of Oslo. So like I just finished explaining, I can't tell you what university to go. Stavanger is my school, right? I can't say, oh, come to my school or go to University of Oslo. The two universities are very different in different things, and they are in two different cities. Oslo is like the center. Everything is happening in Oslo. If you're Oslo is like, I don't want to say Oslo is like Lagos, but obviously it's not like Lagos, but in terms of activity, vibe, energy, Stavanger is a quiet city, right? If you like the quiet life, blah blah, all those kind of things. So it depends, like I just explained about choosing school, it depends on your preferences and your city preferences and the modules that they are offering under the courses that you're interested in. If you prefer one teaching system above another teaching system, the things that they are saying here over the other schools. So it's totally up to you. See, Norway schools are good on a general scale. All the schools are good, so if you end up in any of the schools, it's still a great opportunity. So you pick based on, and University of Oslo, I think they also get a lot more applications because they are at the capital, right? So a lot of people apply to University of Oslo. But then again, you don't have to apply to just one school. You can apply to multiple schools. Like there's no application fees, so nobody is holding you. Apply to as many schools as you want to, and then pick which one is best fit if you get an admission from the schools that you apply to, right? So next question from Cheno Ila. I want to know if there are any government universities in Norway that offer bachelors in computer science. Yes, there are. The time registration. See, like as I'm reading through these questions, I'm pained in my heart because all these things. I wanted to do this live because I wanted to answer difficult questions. Like I said, send me questions ahead of time so that I can say, this question is really serious. Let me research. Let me check. Let me do this. But you guys are just sending me things that I've already addressed before in the past, and you guys, and all these things are so easy. Like you can just Google it and you find your answer. You know, ask me things that maybe are difficult for you to find. That's how to maximize this whole situation. Anyway, yes, there are schools that offer bachelor in computer science, and computer science is a STEM course. Yeah, STEM courses in almost all the schools. So yeah, there are a lot of schools that offer bachelors in computer science. Most of the time registration applications open in October for a lot of schools. I have a video specifically on this for schools and their application timelines. I put their links, I put everything on my channel, 10 Free Universities in Norway. You will see it there. So some schools open in October for applications, some in November. But make sure you check because when they close, they are closed. So just check this. It varies for different schools, but mostly in October they start opening up. Can I get a scholarship to take care of living expenses in Norway? Yes, you can get a scholarship to take care of your living expenses. This question is from Chidima. Chidima, I'm going to do a video. I have to do a full-blown video on this, talking about the different scholarships available. Aside from the fact that tuition is free, there are a few scholarships that you can apply to. I will do a video on that later in the month to address the application process, the timelines, the eligibility, and all of that. I keep seeing questions. Okay, we have 9 questions in the box already. Excuse me, I'm just gonna check that when I'm done going through this. Where are we? Can I apply for first year in Norway? This is from Jani. I don't know what you mean by first year. First year in what? First year in what? But you can apply, I guess. Whatever the first year is, bachelor's or master's, you can apply. In your video, you mentioned you didn't write any exam. This question from Tolu Oladele. How did you meet English requirements? I used my WAEC. I've already addressed that before. How did you send your documents to Norway and how much did it cost? So, I like this question. So during my application process, at the beginning of the application, I uploaded my soft copy to the portal that they provided, and then I sent my hard copy transcript from my undergraduate university. So they did. I'm not sure what delivery service that they used, but because from my school they don't give you your transcript, right? You have to, if you need to send it to any school for masters, you go to school, you apply for them to send it, so they will send it. And even Norway, the school I was, University of Stavanger, they require that it is sent from your school actually, so that they can be sure of its legitimacy. And so the cost of this will be dependent on how much the delivery service charges. I don't want to say how much I was charged, because I don't know if that's a general figure, because school might also charge for their own effort of sending it, so I'm not sure if that's a general figure. But whatever it costs for normal delivery, international delivery of these express services, and you just document maybe like 1 kg or something, or less, or 0 point something kg, so it'll be around that range of pricing. I think I'd be like 20 something thousand naira. I'm not sure exactly how much, but it was around that range. Yeah, I really appreciate you doing this video for us. Thank you. Now I have 3 questions from Sandra. What course did I study for my bachelor's? I did industrial relations and human resource management. Yeah, someone said it's 5k for my school to send. It depends on your school. Actually, I didn't pay 5k. I paid much more than that. What is your class schedule like for your course? And what are some tips you can give to help someone prepare mentally coming to Norway for masters? So first of all, what's my class schedule like? Most of my classes, so I have classes from, I love my class schedule. This semester I didn't have classes on Mondays and Fridays, so I had my weekend started early and finished late. But I have classes. Okay, I had a class on Monday, but it was not a class that added to my credits. It was a language class. So, or I have, because I'm still in the semester. So Tuesday to Thursday I have classes, and most of my classes are like 4 hours, either 2 hours or 4 hours long. Either 2 hours or 4 hours long. I didn't have any class that was like an hour or something. But even the classes that were 2 hours, I think I still had the one that was 2 hours. I have it another day for another 2 hours during the week. So like that. Tips to help you prepare mentally. Just be ready. Be ready for be ready for a new environment, right? Be ready for a new culture. Be ready for something that is totally different, especially if you're coming from Africa and you're not coming from like another European country. Things are very different from the way we do it in Africa. A lot of things are very different. So be ready, be open. Just let your mind be open. Yeah, let your mind be open and just be ready for the changes and learn the language. And they're very calm. They're very calm here. It's not like there's no gra-gra. Gra-gra is Yoruba for haste, and just when you're being very hasty. I grew up in Lagos, so I use Lagos as a reference all the time. Lagos is in Nigeria. In Lagos, everybody is hasty. Everybody is running off somewhere. There's a lot of energy in the air. It's not like that. Like when I came here, I was literally like, okay, everywhere is so quiet and calm. Maybe it's also because I'm in Stavanger, right? Maybe if I was in Oslo, I would not be feeling the difference so much because it's a more lively city. But like, let your mind just be open and be ready. Be ready for anything. I want to come and study there. What are the accommodation requirements? This question is from Joy in Wuji. Accommodation requirements, you just need to have an admission. Once you have an admission, your school will send you everything you need to know about accommodation. They'll send you a link to apply to choose an accommodation that you like, and everything will move forward from it. So you don't need to bother yourself or give yourself a headache or over worry about accommodation, right? Once you get an admission, your school will send you details and everything that you need for to do for your accommodation. All right. Please, ma'am, this question is from Ari Halam. How much is the entire cost of going to University of Stavanger? This is a very wide question. I have videos on my channel talking about the different costs that I spent. First, for my flight and my passport, because when you say entire costs, it depends. It's very contextual, and I don't know if you're Nigerian based on your name, but I shared my costs based on a Nigerian perspective. But then you can also look at those costs from the country that you're coming from. You have to look at passport, accommodation costs, visa costs, ticket costs, the money you need to pay into the school, and that's is in different buckets. So we're looking at hold on a second. maybe around 20,000 USD. And everything is not cost that you lose, because also in this money is money that you pay to the school to show that you can fend for yourself, that they are going to pay you back. So like I said, it's very contextual. I would advise that you watch the videos that I have on costs. I have like maybe 3 videos on costs, so you can get a better perspective of how much like it's going to apply to you in what I share, because everything might not apply to you, right? Can I get a full scholarship from Norway? This question is from Telvin. When you say from Norway, I don't know what that means. Like, do you mean that Norway giving you a scholarship? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean, but Norway is already offering you free education, so yeah. Next question from Richmond. If you apply for masters, on what percentage from 10 to 100% would you get admission? You see, I don't know. I don't know, because I'm not in the mind of these people, so I don't know, right? I don't know the percentage of 10 to 100. It's dependent on a lot of things. I mean, what are your qualifications? Did you apply based on all the things that they told you to do? Did you follow instructions? Are you qualified for the course you're applying for? What are your grades? Like, there's so many things, so I cannot give you a specific percentage that, oh, surely you will get an admission based on this rates. I can't do that. Is master's education hectic? I mean the nature of it. I mean the stress. I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's because of the way the person said, I mean the nature of it. I mean the stress. See, masters can be hectic, right? Especially if you're not only doing your masters, maybe you're also trying to work, or you're also trying to work on other things on the side. But education is hectic generally, so yes, it can be hectic. I won't say stressful. I would say that it can be hectic, but it doesn't have to be stressful. So it depends on how you manage your time, right? You need to manage your time wisely. You need to do serious time management and discipline, right? That's how it's not be stressful, but it can definitely be hectic. So let me move on. I need to be fast now, because I think live, it's been long I did the live, so I think maybe live goes over at like 1 hour, and we're 30 minutes in already, and we still have a number of questions. Can someone who graduated with a second class lower gain admission into schools in Norway? This question is from Dari. Yes, I've spoken to people that have a second class lower that have admission in Norway. So yes, shoot your shot. I mean, there's no harm. Like I always like to say, there's no the admission requirements is not hectic, and there's no application fee. So you just apply. Like, there's no harm. Apply, give it your best shot, and apply, and then see how it goes. But I've spoken to people here that have second class lower and have admission. But yeah, that's the answer. So from Francis, this question says, good morning or good evening. I want to ask questions on your previous videos when you talk about paying money in accounts in Norway. Is this money you paid in your accounts guaranteed you of getting a visa? No, it is not. It doesn't guarantee you of getting a visa. And what if you are denied a visa? How do you get your money back? Lastly, how much in total do I need to pay in your account before I start the visa process? So, first of all, like I said, the money you paid into the account is not guaranteed of anything, of you getting a visa, right? You're paying that money to show that you can fend for yourself in Norway, and there are a lot of things that might influence your getting a visa or not, right? So if you are denied a visa, how do you get your money back? They'll pay you back, don't worry. They're not thieves. They're not fraudulent. They'll contact you and they'll pay you your money back, right? You don't have to give yourself a headache about that. But hopefully, I hope you get the visa, so that doesn't have to happen. How much in total do I need to pay in your account before I start the visa process? So first of all, you need to pay the visa application fee, which is separate from the money you need to show. So when you pay that money, the money that you need to pay into their account to show proof of living expenses is currently at 126,000 NOK right now. It's around that range because the money has gone up. Last year when I was applying, it was around 123,000 NOK. Right now it's at 126,000 NOK. So by next year, I don't know how much it's going to be. So the money varies, right? So you have to convert that to your currency in your country and see how much it is. I'm really thankful for your time taken to educate us. You're welcome. I'm very grateful for all of you that come to watch my videos. You guys are the real MVPs. Thank you. Now, next question from Christiana. Please, I want to know if there are differences in the way they teach us in Norway when you compare it to that of African countries, precisely Ghana. I want to know the number of courses they offer in level 100 till we finish. Also, if you want to further your education and you're financially poor, is there any student loan that can help you pursue your education? So the first thing is, the way they teach I'm Nigerian, so I'll have to use the Nigerian perspective because I don't know how they teach you in Ghana. Excuse me. But like for Nigeria, if it's different from the way they teach in Norway, yes, it's very different. And maybe it will be the same for other African countries as well. The educational system is very different. At least here is a lot more hands-on. There are a lot of group. I mean, in Nigeria, we did a lot of group work, presentation, reading, but here it is like multiplied on an increase level. You know, yeah, it's very different. The lecturers are very and professors, they are very engaged. Like the classes are not very large, so aside from last semester when we first started and we had a lot of joint classes. The classes are not very large, so like the lecturer almost knows everybody or knows everybody. They're very involved. You know, you write papers, you talk to them, you do a lot of reading. A lot of reading, articles and books. It's very different. Yeah, I can't talk from the perspective of Ghana, but for Nigeria, it's different. It's more intense. If you want to further your education and you're financially poor, is there a student loan? So they don't give loans to international students here, to the best of my knowledge. They give loans they have loans for their people. Like if you're a national, they have loans that you can take. But for international students, I don't think, to the best of my knowledge, there are no loans, right? But then tuition is free, so you're not going to be paid any tuition fee. And the only thing you will need money for is maybe your living expenses. And hopefully, if you have spent a few years in your first round of education, you should have been able to work a bit. You should try to work a bit so that you will be able to have money to show that you can fend for yourself if you want to further your education. So since you're already here and you just want to further, your chances are higher because hopefully you will have tried to get a job, and hopefully you would have gotten the job and you'll have been able to get some money to save and all of that, right? Whew! You're doing a great job. Thank you. I wish I could join you there. Don't worry, everything will work out. Just keep pushing it. Sometimes it takes years for these things to happen. If you have a plan, just keep at it and hopefully everything works out for you. So now we're going back to more money questions, right? Okay. I was just checking out the amount of questions we have there. So more money question. What is the amount you deposited in your school account in dollars? So actually this money, friend, I'm not even sure it went to the school account. I think there was was it my school account? It was just an account. I'm not sure if it was for my school or if it was just like a general account that international students just pay into from different schools, right? But like the amount was somewhere between 14 to 15,000 USD, because the person specifically said in USD, right? That was the amount. That question was from Linda. Another question from Oseni Adewale. Approximately how much do you spend monthly? Feeding, transport, etc., excluding accommodation. Let's say maybe between 1,500 to 2,000 NOK. I have a video on my channel talking about monthly expenses. You should check it out where I break down what my expenses are. But let's just say 1,500 to 2,000 NOK. And that's because I don't spend a lot and I don't eat a lot as well. I don't eat that much. So it might vary for you depending on your spending habits and your eating habits and all of that. Yeah. Whew! I should have brought water to this live because I'm now thirsty and hungry. But let's go. This next question is from Zeno. When you're applying for a master's program to study in Norway, can I include Can I include my master's transcript certificate or just my bachelor's transcript? I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, and I want to apply for another master's in a more specialized area. Please put all your qualifications there. Put all your you're not holding anybody for. You have to put your best foot forward. Put your best foot forward. There's so many applications. If you need to put in something that's going to make you stand out, every qualification that you have, if you have done 3 masters, put it. If you have done a PhD before, put it. Put everything you have done on. Put it there. Let them see and know that, oh, this person, okay. It just might give you an edge over the other applicants. Alright? Thank you for the amazing content. Thank you so much. Next, David Tobola. Are there any scholarship opportunities? Okay, I've already spoken about scholarships. So next set of questions. I think this is the last category we have. Whew! I'm not sure I didn't miss out any. I didn't. Ooh, last category. Why the last category? Alright. I would like to know what it's like to be black in Norway. And if you face racism or stares from white people when you walk the streets. So it's, I mean, there are black people. There are black people here. So it's not weird at all. And I haven't experienced any racist behaviors from anybody actually so far that I've been here. I hope I don't experience any in the future. But so far, no, I have not experienced any racism. What's it like to be black in Norway? I mean, it's cool. Everybody is normal. Nobody is treating you weird because you're black. Because I mean, there are other black people here, so I mean, black is normal skin. So stares from white people. The only time I received stares from white people was when I first came and I was in my braids, and my braids were really long. Those braids were lit. They were fine. They were nice. I admit. I don't, because here people don't really. I think my stomach is making noise again. But moving on, I think I'm the only person I've actually seen on braids. Okay, one of my classmates just did braids recently, but it was black because they don't really sell colored attachments, extensions for braids here. And my braids were blonde and it had all these cowrie things. So yeah, when I go in the store, when I'm on the bus, people look at me like, oh, I like your hair. Oh, thank you, namaste. That's the only time that I've gotten weird stares from people. So no weird, just like stares. So this next question is from Oyadika Victoria. How are you getting on with your studies and adjusting to the cold weather? Thanks for asking about me. How am I getting on with my studies? It has been hectic. It has been hectic, which is why in the past 2 weeks I've not posted like my usual 2 videos per week because I'm like I didn't have the time. I had to focus. So it's been hectic. How am I adjusting to the cold weather? I think this cold weather thing, let me talk about it, because when I came, I didn't realize that winter was like a matter on steroids. I just thought winter, because I've never been in winter abroad before, I just thought winter was cold. I didn't know that winter was also dry. See, there's an importance. I need to do a video on this because my skin, oh Lord have mercy, my skin almost destroyed. Because especially when I was in quarantine, I have a video on quarantine, by the way, you should check it out. Especially when I was in quarantine, I didn't moisturize my body at all because because normally from like Nigeria, I'm someone that hates moisturizing, especially because the weather is very hot. Because most of these moisturizers, they make you sweat, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. So I just take my bath and move on. I was just lucky to have good skin, right? But for my quarantine period, I never moisturized one day. And anybody that's been in winter abroad knows how bad what this means. Like right now, my back, like this entire my back, and sometimes my elbows, I have like scratches on my skin because my skin was breaking. You know when somebody cuts you with blade, but it's not bleeding, but you have that line and that injury thing. That's how there are parts of my skin like that. And my back, actually this is my back, sometimes it just starts peppering me for no reason and itching me, like because my skin has like, oh please, the cold is dry. That's just what I'm trying to say. So moisturize per second. If you come during the winter, moisturize morning and night and afternoon. Don't be like me. I went weeks without moisturizing and I did not know. I just felt like, oh, I'm not going anywhere, I'm just indoors, I don't need to moisturize. Oh Lord, my skin suffered. Still suffering. I'm still recovering from it. So please do not. I'm adjusting to the cold now. I mean, now it's spring has fully sprung, so it's better. It's not as cold. You're a great ambassador for our people. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Next question from Miriam. Are there many black people in Norway? I love your channel, it has helped me. Thank you so much. Are there many black people? Many is a lot. I won't say many, but a good number at least. A good, or maybe because I have black friends. Maybe that's why I think it's a good number. It's not like, I mean, I can go to the store and not see any black person there. So I don't know if many doesn't really cut it. So I'll just say some. Some, the range will be a few to some, not a lot. Yeah, but yeah. Woo! This is the last question from this, and this question is from Brian. Are you required to have health insurance when you come to Norway? Can you give me an overview of your class hours and schedules to see if there is still time for part-time jobs while pursuing a master's degree? So are you required to have a health insurance? You are advised to have a health insurance when you come in, at least for the first few weeks to months. So when you're fully settled as a student, you have what's it called? What's the word? Subsidized. You don't pay so much for healthcare. It is greatly subsidized. So you're part of they put you under the healthcare system. If anything happens to you, you don't have to pay like so much for it. But before that whole thing is set up for you, you are advised to get health insurance for the beginning, the early part of your stay, in case anything happens to you, so that you don't, because you will pay through your nose. Yes, it's going to be very expensive. You're going to pay through your nose. So yeah, you are advised to have healthcare for the first few months of your travel. And overview of your class hours and schedules, I already spoke about that earlier in the video. And to see if it's still possible for part-time job, yes, it's possible. Yes, it's very possible. But like, you have to be very disciplined with your time, because if you're working 20 hours per week and then you're also going to class, you have to also put in time to read, time to do your assignments, your coursework, your group work, group presentations, papers to submit, and you still have to have a life, have a social life, do other things. So there's a high level of discipline that is required. But yes, it is very possible for you to have a part-time job, and your schedule is accommodating. It can accommodate it. All right. So now we have 19 questions here. To do this so that I can see the questions vertically. Okay. I can't seem to find the university with my course, cardiopulmonology. Wow. What does that even mean? I have to Google that because I do not know. Cardiopulmonology, relating to the heart and the lungs. Well, I would have to, so I don't use people's time on this live to be searching for this. I would have to check this and get back. And maybe address it in another video, because a lot of times, are you sure you checked all these schools and they don't offer this course? Please do check all these schools, right? Okay, because I can already see something. Are you sure you checked well? This took me like 2 seconds. Please check well. I can see options here for schools, so check well. There are options. Do we pay application fees for masters or PhD admissions, and cost of migrating from Ukraine? I'm not sure of the cost of moving from Ukraine, because that would depend on how much you're going to pay for a visa from there, how much is your flight tickets. The context is different from mine, so you have to check. You don't pay application fees for masters, and you don't pay application fees for anything. For PhD admissions, because PhD here is even great if you're interested in PhD, because in PhD they pay you, right, to do PhD, because you're working for the government and you're doing research for the government, so they actually pay you during your PhD program. So I can see for the person that asked about cardiopulmonology, if I got that right. So maybe because I can see a course here that has to do with I don't want to, this will take my time. So that person, please, that asked about cardiopulmonology, please send me a DM. I will check immediately after this live because I would expect it to be at the top. So just send me a DM and I would respond to you personally, so that I don't use people's time here to answer that. Which schools in Norway offer nursing? See, you would please just check, right? just Google it. Just Google it, you'll find it. Because if I cannot do that right now on the live to check for schools for you, and I don't know it off the top of my head. But there are a lot of schools that offer nursing. Can I apply for a university with 2-2? Yes, I already answered that. You can apply for a university degree with 2-2. Just give it your best shot, right? How can I stay back once I'm done with my master's and get a job as a programmer? Okay, so after your school, what's that thing called now? After your education, you can stay back. You can apply for a job seeker visa, and then during that period, apply for a job, and you have to get a job for you to extend your stay beyond the period that the job seeker visa is going to permit you. And also you have to show proof of living expenses for that year. Please, I want to advise that you guys watch the videos on my channel. Literally most of these questions I have already addressed in detail. So yeah, do I need a valid passport when applying to a school? Yes, you need a valid passport. How can I get a PR when I'm done with masters? You need to have worked for a minimum of 3 years to qualify to apply. Like I said again, I've answered all these questions in detail on my channel. Please check it out. Hi, please, was Norway your first option? Because I'm trying to decide between UK, Norway and Ireland. Yes, Norway was my first option because free tuition. Norway was my first option because of free tuition, as I didn't have the funds to be paying what's it called, tuition fee. Is there an issue of language barrier? Most people speak English, right? In fact, you can get by on only English, but if you want to get a job, I would advise that you learn the language, because in especially if it's not an international company, because most international companies they use English, but it would be nice to know Norwegian. But if you're getting a job that is maybe one of the local companies, and by local I just mean companies that are not in international Norwegian companies, it will be best for you to, it required even for some job. You can't apply for some jobs unless you speak fluent Norwegian. People say European countries could be boring and lonely. Would you say the same thing about Norway? Well, it can be boring. It can be boring, but you don't have to be bored. That's what I would say, because like I said, this is it's very calm. See, coming from Africa, especially because I can see the person asking the questions at the Jimoke, so I'm sure that Yoruba comes from Nigeria. Nigeria is very energy everywhere. Everywhere is very lively. But here, it's not really like that. You know, it's not like that. It's very quiet and calm, and everything is just jeje. You know, it can be boring, but like I said, you don't have to be bored. You can engage yourself, make friends. Oh my god, the importance of networking is so important, especially if you start your course. If you see other Africans there, if you see people from your country, send them a message. That's how I made my first friend. It was in one class. We were in a class, and I was just checking. I was just seeing all sorts of names from all sorts of different countries. I'm like, am I the only? I knew that I wouldn't be the only black, but I'm like, am I the only Nigerian person here? I just saw a Yoruba name. Hello. I just wrote the person's email down. Like, oh, I'm going to contact this person once I'm done with this class. By the time I was done with the class, I saw that the person had contacted me. So you have to network, like reach out to people. That's the only way you can survive in this area, in these places, before you start making other friends that are maybe Norwegian. Because at least I've made like a few very tiny number of Norwegian friends, but like I have more black friends. So reach out to people that are black, especially from your country. You will see that there is a community. So even here, there's a Nigerian community. We have a group chat, like not for the entire Norway obviously, but for my school. So we have a group. So if you see that once you reach out to somebody has reached out to me, they tell you, we have a group chat, we have a hangout, we have this. So please network. If you stay by yourself, the pressure will hit you and you will be so bored. So put your questions in the question box so that I can see it. How long will it take to get undergraduate admission? So I think it takes about the same time as the masters. So you apply when it opens. Most schools open like October, and in the next like 5 months, I think they get back to you, because most of them open in October, close like December, January, and then they get back to you like March, April. So that's like the timeline. How is the COVID pandemic? Well, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as like a lot of other places. We're able to move around, but we're not able to go to classes. See, all my classes have been on Zoom, guys. I've only gone for 2 physical classes this semester, and those classes were not even compulsory for you to come physically. And in the class we were like maybe only 3 or 4. The other class we were 2. Most people just stayed online, and that was even when we could go to class. For the rest, we couldn't go to class at all. We were on Zoom. So as much as people can walk around, go to the store, you're encouraged to adhere to safety measures, wear your mask and all of that, and no gathering, large gatherings or partying and all of that. Yeah. Did I send a hard copy of my WAEC result to Norway? Okay, this question is not in the question box, but I'm going to answer it. No, I didn't send a hard copy of my WAEC result to Norway. I uploaded it as a source copy, but I brought it with me. So all the documents that you upload for your application, they will tell you to bring it with you, because when you come here, you will be asked to submit it for them to verify it. So they'll have to see it and verify it, and then they'll give you back. So back to my question box. I want to study social sciences. Do you think it's easy or hard to find a job after that? So social sciences is a very broad spectrum of courses. So what exactly is social science? Social science do you mean? How many degrees can I apply to in one university? I'm not sure how many degrees you can apply to, but you can definitely reach out to the school to ask. So one of the things I realized during my application process and staying in Norway is that they are very open and they communicate. So if you're unclear about anything, send them an email, they'll respond to you. So you can just send an email to the school you're interested in that. But I think it's possible to apply to like 2. I'm not sure if you can apply to more than that or multiple. I think you can apply to multiple, but confirm from the school. Send them an email to say that, oh, you're interested in this course and this course and this course. Can you apply to these multiple courses? Yeah, put your questions in the question box, please. You look great. I like your lipstick. Thank you. Are there any races in Norway? Are there any? By races, do you mean like other people from other races? Yes, there are other people from other races. A lot of Asians. There are Indians as well. But yeah, there are a lot of people from different places. I know someone from Nepal. How many other races do I know? But there are a lot of people from different races, basically here. What city are you living in now? I'm in Stavanger. Are you planning on staying back after my study? That depends on the opportunities that I get. Are students allowed to work 20 hours? Yeah, students are allowed to work 20 hours per week for real. And in summer, you work full time. So yes. Do I know if having ACCA gives the upper edge for accountants? Do you mean like for studying or for getting admission? But I think it should, because I think ACCA is like it's a global accreditation, so I think it should be able to give you an edge. I haven't really checked that before, but I think. Oh, sorry, I got a call. Are there job opportunities? After master's degree? Yes, there are job opportunities during and after. You don't have to wait till after. You can start applying from during your master's. Can documents be submitted after? Sorry, I got a call again. Can documents be submitted after deadline? They are very strict with their deadlines. So if you're going to submit a document after deadline, you have to give them a good reason. In fact, I would advise that if you know that you're going to miss the deadline, you email them to say that, oh, there's a deadline coming up for this and I'm unable to meet up to this deadline because this and this and this, and it has to be a legitimate reason. That's not still a guarantee that they would accommodate you, but you have to let them know. So if you have seen the problem coming, email them and let them know that, oh, I'm having this issue with my application, or maybe my school is unable to send the document on time. Please, can I have an extension? just let them know. But they are very strict with their deadlines. If you miss your deadline for no reason, they're just going to tell you that there's nothing that you can do. All right. So yeah, I think that I've gone through most of the questions. Would having a GPA of 3.4 over 5 affect your chances? No, it won't. No, it won't affect your chances. Definitely apply. Give it a shot. I've addressed this earlier in the video. Give it a shot. And we'll see how it goes. Can you help with the whole processing while we pay for the service? Please send me an email. I'm working on something around that for you. So if you want me to help you personally with that and you pay for the service, please send me an email. Yeah, so we have already used 1 hour on this live. I want to thank you guys so much for joining. I think this thing is going to go off after an hour, but even if I want to just keep it to 1 hour so that when you're watching it on YouTube later, it's not too long for you. Thank you so much for joining the live. I really appreciate it. We're supposed to do this on YouTube, but we couldn't, and now we are on I sent you an email. I'm so sorry. I will get back to all my emails soon. My emails have been full, and I'm getting through it. I'm getting through it gradually. I'm sorry if I've not responded to your email or your DMs. I will get to it gradually. I will get to it. I promise. I will get to everything. It's just that sometimes it gets overwhelming trying to do school and this and many other things on the side. So thank you guys so much for joining. I'm going to save this live and I'm going to upload it to YouTube during the week so that you can catch up on it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Shout out to everybody. Thank you. All right, guys, before my stomach makes noise again, I'm going to find food to eat. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you Modupe. Victoria, I will check Victoria Olatunji. I will check your inbox. Ofre, thank you. Gora, thank you. Adebi, thank you guys for joining. Kasim, thank you. Ofre, leave me alone. Okay, guys, bye.